There was a time when we were much more powerful. But that was long ago.
Destiny has always had a seriously convoluted plot, with wizards who came from the moon and a mysterious stranger with no time to explain.
I don't have time to explain.
Not to mention the fact that half the game's lore isn't even in the game. So if you're looking to fully enjoy Destiny 2 but don't want to drag yourself through the first game's story or read all of the lore, we've put together a super simplified breakdown of Destiny's plotline and all of its expansions to bring you up to date.
There are many tales told throughout the city to frighten children. Lately, those tales have stopped. Now, the children are frightened anyway.
The story begins with the arrival of the Traveller, sometime in the late 21st century. No one knew where it came from, but as it made its way through our solar system, it began to terraform nearby planets, making them habitable for humans. Its arrival ushered in a golden age for humanity, granting huge advances in technology and allowing for the colonisation of other planets. Humanity flourished and life was good. During this time, another of the game's playable races were created, the Exo, machines with incredibly advanced AI, similar to that of a human mind. However, this golden age wouldn't last forever, as unbeknown to humanity, the Traveller was pursued by an ancient enemy, known as the Darkness.
I could tell you of the power of the Darkness, its ancient enemy.
What exactly the Darkness is remains up for debate, but when it arrived, it destroyed much of what humanity had built. This era is known as the Collapse, and much of the knowledge and technology from before this event has been lost. Around this time, a group of humans attempted to flee from the Darkness. However, while out in the black of space, something mysterious happened to them and they were changed forever. Today, they are known as the Awoken, Destiny's third playable race. Back on Earth, all seemed lost, until the Traveller sacrificed itself to save humanity and push back the Darkness. Then, with its final breath, it created the Ghosts, and in turn, the Ghosts would create the Guardians.
The Traveller created the Ghosts to seek out those who can wield its light as a weapon. Guardians to protect us and do what the Traveller itself no longer can.
Ghosts seek out Guardians amongst the long dead humans, Exos and Awoken that littered the planet, looking for those capable of controlling the Traveller's light. Once they find their Guardian, the Ghost will bring them back to life. Many of the first Guardians believed that they had been chosen to rule over others, and a select few became warlords. However, when they grew too powerful, another group of Guardians stood up against them, tore them down, and began to build a city in the shadow of the Traveller. A place for humanity to unite once more. These Guardians became known as the Iron Lords, and they, along with other new Guardians, would stand up as protectors for the Last City forevermore.
Stand with me, Guardian. Prove yourself worthy, and the Iron Lords will rise again.
It's many years later that your story in Destiny begins, as your ghost revives you in old Russia.
Guardian, eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive.
Your early adventures see you push back the Fallen, a nomadic, pirate-like race who have attacked Earth along with other planets. However, they aren't the only threat in our solar system. The Hive are another alien race who have been attacking Earth, and they already control the moon, having dug deep caves across its face. They worship the Darkness, and believe that by destroying the Traveller's light, the Darkness can reclaim its domination. While thwarting one of the Hive's attempts to destroy the light, you are approached by a female Exo, who tells you about a far greater threat waiting on Venus.
Guardian, I know what you're about to do. It's brave. But there are enemies out here you would not believe.
Out where?
Once on Venus, you meet the Vex, an ancient cyborg race hell-bent on expanding their species throughout the galaxy. And just like the Hive, they have close ties to our old enemy, the Darkness. The Vex already have complete control of Mercury, and also have a presence on Mars. In fact, the only thing that really stopped them from taking over the Red Planet is another alien race, known as the Cabal. The Cabal are a heavily militarised empire, who have conquered entire galaxies. Centuries ago, they sent a small portion of their army to scout out our solar system. However, on Mars, they ran into the Vex, and have been locked in an unwinnable war ever since. You battle both the Vex and the Cabal on Mars, and do a lot of damage to both sides before finally entering the Black Garden, a separate dimension which the Vex keep locked out of space and time, which houses a being known as the Black Heart. Worshipped like a god by the Vex, this being is closely linked with the darkness, and as a Guardian, it is your duty to destroy it. This is your final act in the vanilla story of Destiny. Your journey continued with the game's first expansion, The Dark Below.
We went to the moon seeking vengeance, but it found us first. Crota, the son of Oryx. We'd never faced anything like him. In the end, only I was left.
Here you meet Eris Morn, the last survivor of a fire team who attempted to destroy the Hive god known as Crota. Crota currently sleeps in a realm known as the Netherworld, but the Hive are looking to bring him back into our reality. Of course you can't allow this to happen, and so, with Eris's guidance, you manage to destroy him. In the second expansion, House of Wolves, we learn more about the Awoken.
Guardians could be quite useful in dealing with these traitorous fallen wolves.
Although some of the Awoken have become Guardians, many still remain in a distant asteroid belt in an area known as the Reef. Leading the Awoken is their queen, Mara Soph. Long ago, her people conquered and enslaved a group of Fallen. However, they are now fighting back, and their leader, Skolas, is causing an uprising and looking to unite the Fallen under him. To stop him, the Awoken Queen summons the Guardians to her aid, and together you defeat Skolas, locking him away in the Awoken's prison of elders. The next expansion was the Taken King, and this was the most important update to the story.
Gather them. I will take them all.
Oryx, the father of Crota, who we killed in the first expansion, has sent his Hive fleet to avenge his son. But Oryx's powers go far beyond those of the average Hive, and he can enslave other races into his own army, known as the Taken. As they entered our solar system, the Awoken from the Reef attempted to stop him, but Oryx hardly had to lift a finger to wipe out their entire armada. The same thing happened when he attacked a Cabal base on one of Mars's moons, and now the Guardians knew that they had to do something before he could complete his quest for vengeance. We sneak aboard the Dreadnought and begin to fight back, eventually destroying Oryx, although some of his taken soldiers are still around. The final expansion is Rise of Iron.
Some know the legend, but no one truly knows how the Iron Lords died their final deaths.
The Fallen have been raiding ancient tombs left over from humanity's golden age, and in one they unearth a self-replicating nanotechnology which turns the Fallen into powerful machine gods. Lord Saladin, the last of the Iron Lords, leads the Guardians in a final stand against this new threat, and in turn he created an entire new generation of Iron Lords to guard the city once more. In Destiny 1 we defeated Vex and Hive gods, and we stopped the Fallen from becoming more powerful, but the one race we interacted with the least was the Cabal. On Mars they were a threat, but unlike the other races they only occupied the one planet, and for the most part they were tied up in their war with the Vex. But in Destiny 2 they are the main antagonists.
You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. Allow me to reacquaint you.
The Cabal have suffered numerous losses to the Guardians, thanks to their connection to the Traveller and their ghosts. But word of this has reached the Cabal Emperor Dominus Gul, and he is now bringing the full force of the Empire down on our heads. They brought with them a powerful weapon that can sever a Guardian's connection to their ghost, making them not only weak, but also able to be defeated, as without the ghost, they cannot be revived.
Guardian, something's wrong.
The Cabal strike at the last city and in minutes have complete control, and the remaining Guardian forces have been forced out towards the European Dead Zone, where they must regroup and begin to find a way to regain their powers and defeat the Cabal.
Your kind never deserved the power you were given. I am gone, and your light is mine.
This brings you up to date with the opening mission of Destiny 2, but there is a lot more Destiny lore out there, so if there are any aspects you would like to know more about, please let me know in the comments below. As always, this is James for Curse, saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.
That was inspiring.
Also, there will be a ton of loot! Yeah, right? That's what I thought.